way to really lose weight. So I guess this video has gone a little off topic. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're outside my kitchen today, going a little off topic. We're going to talk about why I stopped intermittent fasting. We're going to get into the diets that I have done in the past, why I started intermittent fasting, why I didn't think that it would work for me as a long-term solution, and how I ended up here on the anabolic diet. So, with no further ado, let's start talking about it. Here we go. So even before I started doing fitness as a profession, I was really into working out. I enjoyed it. Right from the age of 15 is when I started. Because of football, it got me into a weightlifting program. Pretty much fell in love with it right from the beginning. I found that I was actually enjoying the workouts more than I was actually playing the sport. What ended up happening is as I got further into my development as someone who was exercising on a regular basis, I fell into your typical bodybuilding diet where you're eating 6 meals a day. You're having your breakfast, you're having a snack, you're having your lunch, you're having a snack, you're having your dinner, you're having a snack. You know, so maybe 5 or 6 meals, maybe not that last snack at the end. But that's pretty much how my diet looked for a lot of years. Then I started doing personal training as a profession, eventually opening up my own studio, and I kind of kept that similar philosophy. You know, eat those 5 to 6 meals a day, really stoke the flames on that metabolism, keep it burning. That's gonna keep you burning fat all day. Lo and behold, that's kind of like a pseudoscience or bro science in a way. It's not something that's actually true and doesn't actually have you burning more calories. As we now know, the only way to really lose weight if you're overweight is to be in a calorie deficit. It's really that simple. It doesn't really, at the end of the day, matter what you eat, when you eat, what types of foods you eat. None of that makes a difference. What really matters is if you are expending more calories than you're taking in, you lose weight. That's it. You eat more, you gain weight. You eat at a baseline, you maintain. It's really that simple. But I digress. So I did that 6 meal a day plan for years. Up until I met my wife. I had her doing it. She never ate breakfast before she met me, and I was, oh no, you gotta eat breakfast first thing in the morning. It's the only way to do it. You have to get your metabolism going right away. And granted, I'm doing personal training at this time, so I have to be at work at 6 a.m. to train a session. So I'm eating breakfast at like 5 in the morning, not hungry at all, forcing food down because that's the right thing to do. Sounds crazy to think about at this point, but anyway, that long road of doing that for several years eventually led me to what a lot of people fell into over the last couple years, which is intermittent fasting, where you're taking a block of time where you're not eating and then you have a certain window of time where you can eat. And man, I tried them all. I started off doing the 16-8 method where you fast for 16 hours and then you can eat whatever you want or whatever you're supposed to eat within an 8-hour window. That worked pretty well for me at first. It really wasn't much of a big adjustment. I really just wasn't having breakfast as early, and pretty much the rest of my day stayed the same. And it was okay. Eventually I got used to it and accustomed to it, and I wasn't getting hungry until about 10 or 11 or sometimes around lunchtime. It was good. It worked for me very well for a few years, and I saw some success with it. I was able to lose a little extra body fat. I was able to stay on my diet a little bit better, and then I wanted to dive deeper into it. I wanted to go push it a little bit further, doing a little bit of research on my own. All you kept hearing about was, well, if you can push your fast just 1 or 2 more hours, a little bit more, you're gonna get that much more benefit out of it. There's the weight loss benefit, there's the mental acuity benefit, you're gonna be sharper in the mind, you're gonna feel energized. Once those ketone bodies start forming in your system, you're gonna feel so much better. So I decided, okay, all right, I'll push it a little bit further. So I did the warrior diet where you fast for 20 hours, you eat in a 4-hour window. And that took a little bit of getting used to because I was getting really hungry after that 18th hour. But eventually I got that one down too, was able to do that with a lot of success for a good amount of time. I think I did it for a little over a year. And then I wanted to dive even a little bit deeper and do the true alternate day fasting where you don't eat anything for at least 36 hours. Then the next day, you can pretty much eat whatever you want for that day, and then you start the process over again, fasting for 36 hours or more, and then eating whatever you want. And it was good. Initially, it's a shock to your system, right? You're starving yourself for 36 hours, and then you can eat whatever you want because you're basically eating for a day and a half that you missed. So, no brainer in terms of being in a calorie deficit, kind of an easy way to do that for yourself. But again, you're kind of starving yourself. I'd find that when I'd want to work out on the days where I was fasting, whether it was the 16 hours or the 20 hour or even the 36 hour, of course, I didn't have a lot of energy. I know some people say like, yeah, I have more energy when I'm intermittent fasting. Yeah, I kind of get that. I can see how you feel that way because you do have a good feeling when those ketone bodies start making their way to your brain. Like definitely, yeah, you can definitely feel good. But with my workouts, I could tell I couldn't keep up the intensity that I had before when I was even just doing the 6 meals a day. I was getting tired earlier in sets. I wasn't able to work out as long. It was just something that I knew there was a difference, but everyone was talking about how great it was, and I did see some of those benefits. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep pushing through because you know what? You gotta stay locked in, you gotta stay dedicated, and the results will follow. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, that's true. But what ended up happening was eventually I kept doing the intermittent fasting, and then, my nature, I'm an eater. I enjoy food. I like to eat. We grew up in a family where food was a very big deal. A lot of the time that we spent together as family and extended family was around the table. That's what we did. My mom's side's 100% Italian, so that's all about the food. My dad's side, well, was a mix of a bunch of stuff, but you know what? All good eaters. Both sides of my family, we were great eaters. And that's what we did. So that's just how I grew up. Grew up with sweets, grew up with all the junk food that a lot of people end up growing up with. By the time I got into my mid-20s, I had a significant amount of body fat after being at college for 4 years, just carrying through with that lifestyle, and it was something that just wasn't going in the right direction. Intermittent fasting seemed like the answer, and it worked for a while for me. It really did. It really truly worked for me for a while. Once my eating window opened, I could not help but just keep eating. And I loved it. I would meal plan around my intermittent fasting schedule where I would set up a bunch of food. I would have an entire feast laid out for me where I'd eat like 1,000 to 1,500 calories all in one sitting, and it was great. It's like, this is great. It's like being in an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you can just eat whatever you want. But by the end of doing it, I was always going over my calorie goal for the day because, man, once ghrelin gets a hold of you, as Coach Greg tells us, it starts smacking you in the head. And once your body realizes that you can eat food or that there's food available and it's right in front of you, it's very hard to turn that switch off. Even for someone like me, who I can be very disciplined with my workouts, my nutrition, once that gets a hold of you, it's so hard to stop, and you just end up going overboard, and you binge and you binge and you binge, and before you know it, you're like, well, good thing I fasted, or good thing I got a fast coming up because I ate way too much food. And that's not a good feeling either. So having all kinds of, sorry for the TMI, digestive issues. I thought that maybe I could do intermittent fasting for the rest of my life, but I really found out that it's not gonna work for me. It's just not the way I'm wired. It didn't help me not overeat. It didn't help me make my workouts better. But lo and behold, then came a video Remington James did about the anabolic diet, where he talked about, I think it was right at the beginning of when COVID hit, he found the anabolic diet, the philosophy of eating foods that you love but making better choices, really resonated with me a lot like it resonated with him. I digested a lot of Coach Greg's content, no pun intended there, really dove into what this anabolic circle diet is, and man, I knew right away from the first time I heard of what it actually entailed, it was gonna work for me. You get to keep eating the same foods that you love, just making better choices on what you put in it. That's why I honestly have started this YouTube channel. I've always loved cooking. Unfortunately, cooking healthy food isn't always that much fun. Making an egg white sandwich with a slice of fat-free cheese and you put on the top, yeah, it's okay. It's just not a lot of volume. Eating salads with the chicken on top and, dare I say, chicken, broccoli, and rice, it's just something it works. It's not that fun to make. And it's certainly not that fun to eat. When I found that you could eat strawberry cheesecake fritters, or you could have lasagna in a healthy way, or you could eat French toast, anabolic French toast, my goodness, that is a freaking godsend for me, and I'm sure it is for you too. I have that almost every day when I'm not having the anabolic apple pie breakfast bake that I've prepped for the week, that is. There's so many healthy choices out there that you can make that taste good, that are so filling. I know that a lot of people say that one of the bad things about this kind of circle anabolic diet is the artificial sweeteners that you're having. Supposedly they cause cancer and maybe some other health issues. Well, I think you can find 50-50 studies on that. What I can tell you is 100% on studies is that if you're overeating, eating things like sugar, overeating in general, having too much fat, overeating on your calories, not exercising, those things will 100% make you unhealthy and probably have you die early. I'd rather take my chances with the artificial sweetener than to go down a path that's not going to allow me to stay focused on my fitness goals and what I'm looking to do, and also to be able to enjoy the food that I'm eating every single day and still continue to stay on track with my fitness goals. I mean, really, how does it get any better than that? It truly doesn't. It truly doesn't. To be able to share that with a far reach that YouTube allows, to be able to go into my kitchen, make recipes that I know taste good and share them with people and have that conversation with you in the comment section, which I absolutely love. I love the discussions we have. It's great to be part of that type of community where we can talk about it. Everyone's got suggestions. It's been super positive, and I can't thank you guys enough for coming back to watch more of my videos. It's really been spectacular. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I guess this video has gone a little off topic. The intention was to talk about why I stopped intermittent fasting and why I started the anabolic diet, and it's kind of turned more into my appreciation for you coming back, watching my videos, being a part of the community, allowing me an outlet to share these different things that I've discovered along the way here. And I really truly appreciate every single one of you, whether you're new or someone who's been with me from the beginning, coming back and watching my videos, dropping a comment, even if it's just an emoji in the comment section. I truly appreciate it. I can't thank you all enough for the early support that I've received. And I'm looking forward to continue to growing this YouTube channel, make it bigger, give us a bigger and better community where we can all come and have some place to talk about this anabolic diet, all these delicious foods that taste great, that are super filling, and allow us all to stay on track with our fitness goals. At the end of the day, we want to develop that healthy lifestyle. And man, I hope this YouTube channel, even if it helps you a little bit, I feel like I've done my job. And that's really all I want to do. I want to have a far reach. I want to have discussions with you guys. And of course, I want to have a lot of fun. So guys, I really do truly appreciate it. So there's a quick story as to why I don't do intermittent fasting anymore, and a little bit of why I'm here right now on this YouTube channel. I have so much appreciation for every single one of you that are watching right now, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.